So many couples have agreements with each other about how they have sex with each other and whether or not they're allowed to have sex outside their relationships. For example, some couples say that they'll only have sex with each other, and in other couples they're allowed to have sex with other partners outside of the relationship. And I just wanted to ask, do you guys have an agreement like that?
I mean, we've never had a conversation about the parameters of our relationship. We've never sat down to discuss it. But I guess I just assumed that it was only us moving forward.
Yeah, we really haven't had the discussion. We haven't really expressed those terms in our relationship. I know that we want to be together and we do want to stop using condoms, but we haven't had like a formal, solid discussion about it yet.
You know, it's okay to not have an agreement. My experience is a lot of couples haven't had that kind of explicit conversation about what their agreement is. But agreements can be beneficial because it can help build trust and also potentially reduce risk. Sarah, can you tell me, what would you like your agreement to look like in your relationship?
I mean, like I said earlier, I think I just always assumed it was just us moving forward. And I definitely like to have an in-depth conversation about that. I mean, what about you?
I agree with that. Just because I'm not interested in really dating or talking to anybody else right now, so I agree with that.
Okay, so it sounds like I'm hearing you say that both of you want to only see each other. So monogamy?
Yeah.
That's great. And it's okay if you don't come to a concrete agreement today. I just want to make sure to give you a framework so that you can have this conversation about your agreements moving forward. So it's great that you started to discuss an agreement and that you're both on the same page about it. But people are human, and we know that sometimes people can break their agreements in their relationships. Sarah, you just told me, and David, you just told me that your agreement is you're not allowed to have sex with partners outside the relationship. So, Sarah, if David broke your agreement, would you want to know about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sarah, why don't you turn to David and tell him how you would want to hear it if he broke your agreement? So when, where, how?
David, I'd like to hear about it at home, in person. I mean, immediately after it happened.
Thank you, that's great. Now, David, would you want to know about it if Sarah broke your agreement? Why don't you turn to her and tell her how would you want to hear it? When, where, how?
I want the same thing, like at home, in private, immediately after it happened.
Well, this is great. I mean, thank you for walking me through this today. I think this is a great start for you guys to start communicating about your agreement and your relationship.